On behalf of the production team, we apologize for the poor audio quality on one of the microphones. We are working on a solution and hope to resolve the problem soon.
So, hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Tactical Waffle podcast. Last week we went out again. We went to go watch the mighty Crystal Palace take on the not so mighty Tottenham, in which Crystal Palace won the game 3-1. Lewis, what was your appraisal of that
Well,
dismantling?
before I go off, I think we should start with Cody. I feel.
Alright, okay.
Okay, we're just
Right,
so
passing it
Cody-
around it. Okay.
Cody, as the
Yeah.
resident Crystal Palace fan, how would you have summed up the game, and what were some good points that you could take from a otherwise miserable period of Palace football to now hopefully starting a good period?
Well, I'd say one positive is that we are scoring more goals now, more consistent goals now. I don't know, bro.
Analysis.
Right, great.
Great analysis.
I've just woken up, all right. So this wasn't a good idea for me to start, but yeah.
Nocturnal.
So
Well, what do you think of the performance? Like, watching just that performance on the night, what did you think from a Palace
I
perspective?
thought Ismail Assar and Wharton masterclass. Absolutely cooked your pony team. Get down to the championship.
I agree. Like, he's spitting facts here.
So, being the neutral on the day, I thought my appraisal was Tottenham always looked very shaky, like as there has been a theme throughout the season. Obviously, you've had points where you were decent, but I think there you looked shaky from the off. I think Palace applied really, really good pressure. I think they crafted the better chances. They were going out of their way to push the ball up the field, and they were transitioning from defending to attacking really, really swiftly. And I think Adam Wharton had a big role to play in that. And
He was so good, by the way.
he was
Two beautiful
fantastic.
assists.
And in the 2 weeks that I've seen him, he's produced 3 amazing assists. Still not my favourite number 6 going to the World Cup, but we'll hold it there. But he was the star of the show, in my opinion. I think Chris Richards, has outed himself as a very, very underrated centre half, especially in the performances I've seen, because everything that Tottenham are throwing at him, he was dealing with straight away. So
Yeah.
So if the ball was going for the top, Richards is the first line of defence, or the
Yeah.
last line of defence, more like. But he was always the first person to engage with the person who's carrying the ball.
Can't say the same for Van de Ven, though.
Yeah.
Now
talk
that
about Van de Ven.
that I thought was a bit of a poor error, but I'm sure Lewis will delve into that. But I think Tottenham looked lacklustre. They lacked any sort of spirit. Archie Gray was really good. I will take that, and I think he's going to be a fantastic player. When he gets a few more years under his belt, he will be really, really, really good. I think he's a solid jack of all trades kind of player who can play in numerous positions. So I think he's a very good, big bright spot for this Tottenham team. I think the only other person who can say that I did what I could in the time that I had was Mathis Tell, always taking people on. But I felt like it looked very deflated, very flat from Tottenham.
Yeah.
It was the same 2 or 3 diagonal passes or over the top balls.
Yeah.
And as I said, Richards and Canvot, who I thought was really good during the game as well, they were just dealing with it.
Canvo.
They were just dealing with it instantly.
For the third time in 4 weeks, apologies for any mispronunciations.
They just get worse every week.
Yeah.
It's without fail.
That was Canvot.
Cody says Canvot, so I went with Canvot because
I say both.
So therefore, I'm not to blame for that. But Lewis,
It
being
Cambo, though.
being
It is
the
Cambo,
president, being the resident Tottenham fan.
All right, well, but before Lewis gets to have his little upset bit at the club, I'll walk through what I saw from the game as sort of another neutral. I think Chris Richards, he gave something different that we hadn't seen last Thursday. Was he seemed to control the defense so much more, which I really enjoyed. As an American, I enjoyed that. Beyond that, I feel like Palace didn't look a whole lot different stylistically to the way that they played against Zerinski, but I think the issue is that Tottenham did exactly what Palace were okay with. And the biggest problem was they only moved laterally, every time, laterally. That was kind of my biggest takeaway, was just how poor Tottenham was at actually moving the ball positively. And yeah, it was two players. It was Gray and Tell were the only ones who would ever move forwards.
My point to you, Emmett, or question to you, does this performance and the recent performances of Chris Richards give you faith going into the World Cup, knowing that you've got a defender who's willing to step into the passing lanes, or go and challenge for a 50-50 header, or block one off the line? Do you have a bit more faith in Chris Richards based on what you've seen?
I mean, there was always a lot of faith in Chris Richards to begin with. He's always been sort of one of our bright spots. And I was just more excited to sort of see him perform in an in-person environment. But I think just this year as a whole, having sort of him in the team going into a World Cup and the form that he's been on, for the last bits of international break going into the World Cup, it is hopeful. But I think at the end of the day, he is one man, and we still have a lot of question marks around where our team needs to perform. But I think from a team that has always sort of relied on its goalkeeper more than its center back, sort of historically, I think it's promising that we have such a strong center back who's playing really well consistently.
George, I know you were watching the game. What would you take from both teams in a sense that? Go on.
The one thing I don't get right is that so when Vicario came to Tottenham, probably the first few games I watched Vicario play for Tottenham, he was a very, very good goalkeeper, like really, really good with his feet, a good shot stopper. But within the space of 2.5 years, he's just turned into this sort of, how do I say this in a nice way? He's not great. I will say, like, especially the third goal, the Ismail Assar's second goal, where Wharton gets the ball, he's played it over the top. Vicario's got so much time to come out and try and stop Sarr from either going around him or getting a shot off. And he's waited. I just don't get it. Like, why has he waited that long to come out and try and get the ball? Yeah, it baffles me, to be honest. But aside from that, I thought Crystal Palace were, for the most part, were the better team.
Even when he would come out, he made it look way harder than it actually needs to. There was there's one near the end of the game. I can't remember who it was, but it was on the defensive left of the field, and he's running at
Brendan Johnson.
No, I don't think it was, because Brendan Johnson. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So they're running, and he could have just like grabbed the ball like a normal human, or like waited for it to come to his box.
Normal human.
Yeah. Instead, he decides to try and like jump flip kick it out for a throw. It was like he could have waited half a second, grabbed the ball in his box, or even just turned his hips, widened it, and sent it down the pitch where maybe his team could get it. But instead, he's like laying horizontally midair. He made it look so hard and so complicated.
Yeah, I think that's Tottenham's biggest issue right now. I think they can't defend in a unit. There's too much space between the midfield and the defense. I mean, there was this one moment in the game when Gessan just started running, and just with so much space around him. Even everyone around us was like, what's going on? I mean, defensive mistakes. There's so many defensive errors in Tottenham right now. I just
Yeah.
and
Set,
Vicario doesn't help either.
set pieces were a huge thing in that game, especially for a league where sort of the current standard is winning set pieces, and set pieces are such a strong, for almost every team. Going back to long throw-ins, corners have become a huge bright spot for scoring goals. Uh,
Yeah.
Whether you agree with that tactic or not, but I think through the entire game, Tottenham played maybe two set pieces that weren't like a short ball. Every set piece was a short ball. And I don't know if it's just they have no one who can deliver the ball or what their unwillingness to play set pieces. But it was so glaring because the ball never moved. The ball would get played to the first person and then they'd get locked down and they can't move positively again. At the very least, you need to be putting things in the box where someone could get ahead to it. It could take a deflection, literally anything.
We had Solanke and Colomwani sat there waiting. Like two tall strikers. Also, Van der Ven was also in the box. Like and even Danso's good, like very good with his head. We have so many players that can attack that ball in the box, and we're choosing to go short at every set piece.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not
wondering
entirely
why we're
sure what
losing the ball in
Tottenham's
the
style of
corner.
play is. But I'm not
We-
really sure what Tottenham are trying to achieve in terms of like, how
We
they want
have
to play
no
going forward.
identity.
George, I got a question for you because I'm watching the highlights back of the game now.
Yeah.
For the Van de Ven red card. What do you make of that? What is going on with Van de Ven? What for one of the fastest centre backs in the world? Why is he?
I mean,
Why is he
considering
red
that current situation where the ball's being played in behind, like on paper, Vicario is going to come up and claim the ball anyway. So, in my eyes, there's no need for Van der Ven to actually pull back his either side because
he delays it
Yeah.
like I don't know how long it's taking him to come out and get off his line.
I'm not sure whether it's sort of like a panicky situation for Van der Ven where he's sort of expecting Vicario to come out and claim the ball, but he's taken him too long, like he did for the third goal, or
So
whether it's just
I'd put
a
a bit
lapse
more
in
He's got no
concentration.
I'd be
Like, I mean-
looking at him for blame because I think
There's no faith in Van der Ven right now. In
Vicario.
Vicario right now, and that's because he's got nothing. Like he's not given anything for our team to kind of believe that they're safe. Like
Yeah.
you can't expect our defense to feel comfortable when Vicario has just proven why. Proven why they're worried. He like you can't. I don't even know how to put it. Like there's just no stability at the back, and that's
Yeah.
not just on about Vicario either. That whole back line, different every week for one, and
mean-
also the only player that's played consistent game time in that back line all year has been Van der Ven. And now we ain't got him for 3 games. Look,
before we get on to like Tottenham properly, is there anything? No, just because I'm gonna let you have your
no, I know.
meltdown. Is there anything else anyone wants to say about Palace? I think that Adam
Strand Larsen's growing on me a bit.
Yeah, Strand Larsen impressed me today. I think we showed a strong mentality to come back after 1-0 down. Sarr, of course, he was very clinical today. Very impressed with him.
Today?
Not today. You know what I mean.
It's Monday.
Yeah, against Tottenham. Yeah.
I will say, from a neutral standpoint, it was a really, really funny watching Tottenham just get absolutely manhandled by Palace.
It was
especially in that
even
first half.
funnier in the stadium.
Yeah. Like a half time where they were just panning to all the fans just having a mental breakdown because of how bad they were playing.
There were
I saw
fans
the
leaving
camera
from like the
doing it as
35th
well.
minute.
Yeah.
You should have heard the Palace fans, George. We all just we were just making fun of them all game. Like say hello to Millwall. Sit down if you're going down.
Ooh.
all those chants.
Ooh,
So
yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
so the moment we've all been waiting for, Lewis. I think the floor is going to be yours to have your crash out about Tottenham, about the state of the club, on the pitch and off the pitch. If results continue to slip away from you, what do you think about the current state of Tottenham Hotspur?
Where do I even start? To be honest, there's so much wrong, so much. I mean, like I'm staring at my PC right now, and obviously the background is us lifting the Europa League. That happened not even a year ago. We honestly we lifted the Europa League not even a year ago. Since then we've had two different managers. Somehow lost all of our players that are in this photo. Like they're all pretty much, I'd say about 60-70% of them is injured. Like I I don't know how so much can change in such a short amount of time. We've gone
It's
from
really
probably
funny.
the best night in most Tottenham fans' lives to now fearing, like genuinely fearing relegation. And it's literally just been within the blink of an eye.
I don't think any of your players actually care because they'll just get a move to a
That's the
bigger
thing.
club.
They all get their move. Like Van de Ven. Van de Ven couldn't care less anymore. He knows
Yeah,
that he can
he's
go
gone
wherever
to
he
like
wants.
Yeah,
Liverpool. Or
he's gone in the
something.
summer. He
His
wants that
mind's
move.
already at Liverpool because he knows.
Yeah.
At
He knows.
Liverpool.
Yeah, he probably will end up at Liverpool.
There, he's linked.
He-
to
I saw,
Liverpool.
I saw
I
somewhere
don't-
that Van der Ven was linked with Atletico Madrid, and if Van der Ven goes somewhere like Atletico, like
They
I don't
ruined
even
him.
know where. Yeah,
I
I
think
mean,
that's more
I think it
Romero.
would kill him.
Yeah,
Like,
Romero's definitely linked. Romero just screams Atletico Madrid.
Yeah,
he does.
But yeah, as a club, I mean, I'm watching us week in week out, and I generally sat here 2 weeks ago, saying we'll get 6 points out of the next 4 games.
We'll get a couple of wins together.
Yeah, hopefully we can drag a few wins together. That was talking about the last 2 games we played, Liverpool and Forest. I mean, looking at it now, we're going to be lucky to get points out of Forest.
Yeah.
It's just changed. I don't even know where I can go with it because there is just no faith in any of these players' abilities now. I mean, two of our best players, attacking wise, just not been seen all season. Madison done in his ACL in pre-season because that's our kind of luck, and Kulusevski's just disappeared off the face of the earth.
yeah. I was gonna say, is Kulusevski just been injured, or has he had like some kind of like?
Well, so
Does he just not
apparently
want to play?
he had a knee injury, and it just every time we think it's healing, it just like balloons back up, which is a bit concerning. But I'm struggling to know. Like he keeps posting that he's had a child since we last saw him. Like I didn't even know
Not
his
seen
partner
in
was
person,
pregnant.
but
It's like when we were told Kulusevski was injured, it'll be a minor injury, and he'll be back after the final.
Yeah.
And that was on the 22nd of May.
Yeah.
It's been nearly a whole year, and we still are yet to see Kulusevski kick a ball. We're still
Yeah,
yet to see
that's right.
Kulusevski in training.
In training.
Yeah, he's not even been in training.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, bloody.
He's just there for the paycheck.
Honestly, Musiala has recovered from a broken leg quicker than Kulusevski's like recovered from this slight knee issue he had.
Yeah.
I think this season we've had no talent and no luck. Like
No.
when
Like you've been very unlucky.
we have like not only with injuries, just like decisions recently. The refs like not that we would win these games anyway, because we still don't have enough talent to win them. But the refs have been so poor recently,
Yeah.
like inconsistent with us. It's like we're asking for the tiniest bit of luck, something to go our way, and it's just not.
Yeah. One thing I will say about inconsistency with referees, like obviously City played against Forest a few days ago. What the hell happened there with obviously Haaland getting taken out by Matt Snell's no penalty?
Oh, I know. And then Rodri getting
Rodri,
taken out.
Rodri getting kicked in the shins by Elliot Anderson, no penalty. Where's the consistency? Where is it? I don't see it.
I mean,
Anywhere.
you got done by Wolves earlier in the season as well when there was a blatant handball as well.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, PGMOL, a single like. I'm probably gonna get a lot of slack for this. For any Arsenal fan listening, PGMOL are single-handedly handing Arsenal the Premier League title because some of the decisions we've had this season have been they've done my Sweden like genuinely. It's been awful.
yeah,
Like I can only imagine
they've been
like
poor for us. Like, I think we've sent them a letter, like labeling different decisions that they've gotten wrong, and we're still
Yeah.
waiting on a reply.
great. Honestly, I would just scrap VAR. Like I know we spoke about this a few weeks ago, but I'd just scrap VAR. Like regardless of whether it it gives us like X amount of right decisions and X amount of yellow and red cards and whatnot. I still feel like it just like there's no consistency, even when there is right. Even when it does give right decisions, it takes away like really sort of like it takes away like historical sort of great moments. Like I can name one example of the FA Cup a couple of years ago where Coventry played against United in the semi-finals of the FA Cup, and Coventry scored in the last minute to make it 4-3 and to at that time put them through to the FA Cup final. But VAR disallowed it because the Coventry player's toenail was in an offside position.
Oh yeah,
It is, but it just doesn't make any sense.
it's like we did discuss before. It's like Josh King's goal being disallowed at the start of the season. Like he's a teenager that's just scored, and it was a
Oh,
50-50
Chelsea.
on whether 50-50 on whether it was a foul or not.
Yeah,
It just football. Yes, it was frustrating, but fans used to get over it that weekend.
I didn't like
Yeah.
the red card at the Chelsea game over the weekend from Dobson for Wrexham. Mark Goldbridge hated it. I think it was Dobson.
Yeah.
George Dobson.
And Mark Goldbridge turned his stream off saying that it was just such an awful decision and VAR are messing up because the rules are so unclear. And
yeah,
Yeah, well, and that's one where I think it's so unclear because
it's not standardized either.
Was it a high strike? Kind of, but we have no definition for what qualifies as a high strike. I agree. It was definitely foul, definitely yellow. It was definitely a quite a
He knew what he
harsh
was
tackle.
doing.
Yeah, he knew what he was doing. Yes, it's high, but is it fully red card? I don't know.
No.
I don't necessarily think so, but yeah, it's
They
just
also
the
have
rule
health
is so unclear because a high right if the tackle is high then it's a red card. But what do we deem high? Does each referee make that up for themselves? That's where the issue is.
The FA Cup draw is happening now, just so that you know. I will have us updated with the teams and what happens.
Please, for the love of God, can we get Port Vale? I'm praying to the gods we get Port Vale.
So,
We all made our own.
I've had thoughts about what could be done to make refereeing a more standardised practice, because it is very, very, very difficult to do because the scenarios are constantly changing, and referees are viewing it in real time.
Yeah, but the thing
And
is, right? The thing
and
is,
I think
ever since the implementation of VAR, I feel like referees have almost lost common sense because they base the majority of the decisions they make off of VAR and also like the officials at Bletchley Park or the fourth officials. They don't use any common sense anymore, and it gets on my
They
nerves.
know they can be bailed out.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I said, if something went against you before VAR, you'd be like, oh well, like there's nothing we can do about it. And I think what is annoying fans more is the fact that there's so much they can do about it now. They're watching
Yeah.
so many like replays in so many different angles and still aren't getting it right. And
No.
I think that's why people get so annoyed now. But I feel like we need to stop talking about VAR because we've done it like the last last like 4 weeks.
Yeah.
We're just becoming the anti-VAR podcast.
Yeah.
It deserves
And the
though.
anti
Let's move on.
as well.
Well, from one thing that we do every week to another thing, just more about Tottenham, just quickly. I think it's going to be close between us and Forest on who go down. I think West Ham are safe now.
What's everyone's prediction?
Tottenham scrape it by a couple of points.
Yeah, I think
I
Forest
reckon
go
Southampton
down.
Tottenham go
versus
down.
Arsenal is the first game. Of course, they get one of the easiest games they could have got.
Southampton, Arsenal.
Southampton versus Arsenal is the first game, and the second game is being released. Chelsea versus Port Vale. Come on.
Great.
Wow.
So we're either going to play against, hang on. So Brentford or West Ham, Leeds, Arsenal. No, sorry, Leeds, Chelsea. I can't even.
So you're
I
going to
think I might have short-term memory loss.
So you ain't going to be against Chelsea. You ain't going to be against Arsenal, but you could still be against Liverpool.
Fantastic.
So
You
the
just know you'll
teams-
get Liverpool.
The teams
We're
left
gonna get Liverpool away.
Teams you could get a Liverpool, Leeds, Brentford, or West Ham, and that is it.
Yeah, City, Liverpool.
City, Liverpool.
City, Liverpool. It's at the Etihad though, so I'm.
Oh, that is
I'm not.
humongous, by the way.
It's.
That's
I'll
humongous.
take it. It's a
Yeah, I
home
mean,
tie, so
Liverpool
I'll
aren't
take it.
great either. Like,
That's
they're
going to
so
be a
up and down.
big game.
It's
So
obviously one of the worst games we could have got, but I'll
So
take a
it's-
home draw.
So it's West Ham and Brentford, and the winner of that will play Leeds, I believe. Let me just double check.
Pretty sure Arsenal's run to the
Yeah,
finals so
West
far
Ham
has
or
been
Brentford
like.
versus Leeds.
I think Arsenal have played Portsmouth, Wigan, and
Mansfield.
Mansfield,
And
and now
now
they
they're
got to
playing
play
Southampton.
Southampton. Are they going to play a Premier League side?
It's like that in the Champions League as well.
Yeah.
Have you seen their side of the? Have you to get to the? I'm going to pull up this Champions League draw for.
Yeah, it's a state, by the way. Arsenal have literally been handed a Europa League path to the Champions League final. Like, the most realistic path they could get. So obviously they've got Leverkusen in the round of 16. Then they'll probably have Bodo Glimt in the quarterfinals. Don't get me wrong, they've had a really good season. But on
Yeah.
paper, with a team like Arsenal win that.
Yeah,
And
but
then
then they
on
got
the
to
other
play
side-
us in the semi-finals in the
And then-
semis, and we're going to win it.
I mean, on the other side of the draw, you got Newcastle, Barcelona, and you got Atletico Madrid, Tottenham. I think realistically, out of those four, Barcelona make it to the semis, and they'll play against Arsenal in the semis.
What do you mean? We're winning it this year.
Don't. No, you're not. If you
I'm-
you can't even beat Crystal Palace at home, and you're telling me you're going to beat Atletico Madrid and then Barcelona in the Champions League.
Yeah, I'm
So,
I'm getting
where
the
is it
shirt
played?
next year where we got the Championship badge and the Champions League badge.
Right, so the Champions League draw for this year, so on the left-hand side is Chelsea, PSG, and either of these teams will play
Liverpool,
winner of the-
Galatasaray.
Liverpool, Galatasaray. Then on
Yeah.
the other bit of the left-hand side is Man
Yeah.
City, Real Madrid, and the winner will play Bayern or Atalanta.
Bayern or Atalanta, yeah.
Arsenal have to play Leverkusen, Sporting, or Bodo Glimt to get to at least the semi-finals, in which they could play any one of Tottenham or Atleti, and if Tottenham miraculously win, they'll probably end up against Barca, but they've got Barca and Newcastle on the other side. So basically to get to the Champions League final, Chelsea have got to go through PSG, Liverpool, and one of Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern, realistically.
I think I will say about Tottenham's side of the draw though, like if they do beat Atletico, and like I said, they'll probably face Barca in the quarterfinals. I've seen Barcelona play the last couple of games that Barcelona have played. I've watched a couple of their games, and like Pedro, like Lamine Yamal has just been he's been mesmeric. He's been so good the last couple of games I've watched him. obviously scoring a hat trick against third place like Villarreal are third in the league, so they're obviously not a bad team whatsoever. And he scored a hat trick against them like it's nothing.
It's-
And he's just been terrorising defences week in, week out for probably the past maybe 2 or 3 months. And he's been playing at such a high level where he's just been like, he's playing at that sort of level where you consider him for a Ballon d'Or again.
You know what I'd love? I'd love for the UEFA script writers to have Bodo Glimt beat Arsenal.
But it's not going to happen.
It'd be one of the greatest things I've ever watched. If that
Like-
happens.
Like they've beaten some of the best teams in Europe already. Like obviously they've beaten City, they've beaten Atletico, Inter. Like
The
Arsenal, I
absolute
feel like
scenes if they win it though.
Arsenal was like the toughest test in the Champions League bar Bayern Munich, I think, at the moment. So if they can go to the Emirates and get a result and then beat Arsenal in the home leg, bearing in mind they get to the quarterfinals, it would be not only one of the biggest shocks in Champions League history, but it would give them all the momentum to actually go on and win it.
Yeah.
So whether they'd actually do it or not, because if you're talking about like obviously the quarterfinals would be sort of late April, early May. So the Norwegian league actually starts midway through March. So they'd have a few like games before the second leg of before the first and second leg of the quarterfinal anyway. So they'd have a bit of time to sort of get the practice in and sort of get back to speed and whatnot. But I feel like when it actually comes to Bodo Glimt playing at the Emirates, I feel like they're just going to get absolutely hammered.
Yeah.
Like that's just what I feel. And then obviously, if Bodo Glimt were to play against, like, bear in mind if Bodo Glimt play against Barca in the semis, if they do miraculously beat Arsenal, I just feel like, obviously Barcelona are very, very susceptible at the back, and they play a very, very high line and they can get exposed quite easily.
Yeah, I mean, the thing, that Hauger is so good. That left winger.
He's been very good.
He honestly, I remember watching him just tear Porro apart. Do you remember watching that, Cody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bodo Glimt Tottenham, where he literally just like he
That's not that
basically just spun him
difficult,
round.
to be
I
fair.
know it's not hard, but he basically just spun him round, which for like a Norwegian league striker, no disrespect, but it shouldn't be that easy.
I mean, real ones remember Jens Petter Hauger from his AC Milan days. Like, he was a good player at AC Milan, but he didn't get any games. He didn't get much game time while he was there. So the fact he's actually getting some regular game time at a team like Bodo Glimt, and obviously like where they are now and how well he's doing, and obviously the rest of the team,
Yeah.
it is quite refreshing to see. And if they can go on and do the impossible, then great, because everyone roots for the underdog if their team's not in the tournament. So
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy looking at their last 5 games. Beat Inter twice. Beat Atletico Madrid and beat City.
yeah, mate, it's stupid,
It's
isn't it?
mental.
I mean, people made fun of us saying that we had an easy run to the final in Europa League. When we
Yeah.
actually.
I got a question about Arsenal. It's a very, very genuine question that I'm going to ask everyone's opinion on. What do you hate most about Arsenal?
Their style of play and their manager.
Coach,
Oh,
what
yeah.
do you hate most?
fully back that.
Cody?
I don't know.
Great.
Yeah,
Great
probably their style of play.
Lewis?
But you already know.
Gabriel.
He who shall not be named.
Yes.
Emmett, what do you hate most about Arsenal?
Set piece tactics.
Dirty bastards. I hate the fans. They don't deserve anything. They are the worst fans in. They're the most delusional fans in world football.
I don't know why. It's just like players go to Arsenal, and I quite like them for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
they just seem to become the most unbearable people.
Yeah.
Like, I really like Saka, but then he speaks on Arsenal, and he becomes so unbearable in the way he talks about
Yeah.
Arsenal. And the same with Declan Rice. I really like Declan Rice, but oh my god, is he unbearable?
I
Yeah.
I despise the fans because some of the delusional Arsenal fans.
It's because you're so susceptible to rage bait. That's why.
No, I know I am.
Yeah.
But they genuinely believe it. Half the
Yeah.
stuff that comes out of their mouth, they genuinely believe.
Sometimes it is rage bait, Ben.
Yeah, you are generally what they made rage bait for.
Yeah. I
You
know, I
are
know.
so rage baitable.
No, I know I am, but it's still that their fans don't deserve it. I'll be brutally honest with you because they've blamed the weather, they've blamed
Street dying.
conditions.
That was Ty. Ty from
Shout out to Ty, I love
AFTV.
Ty. Then they were blaming the footballs, like how inflated they were. They found every sort of excuse. Oh, we don't have a number 9 who's going to score us goals. And the number 9 they brought, although he's been scoring a few goals, he's been playing shit.
Yeah, I
He's
mean,
still
he
been
scored 2
fucking
against
awful.
us, and that's not hard.
Like, I just like to say, it's looking like they're going to win, but we've seen crazier things. If
I do think they've
if
won now. City just don't.
if-
We're not going to win
just
it.
City
I've
are
been
so
saying
good,
this for
but then have an
months.
absolute clanger in them.
if
Yeah.
if Arsenal blow this, the very slim chance that it happens, this is easily the biggest collapse of a football club of all time.
No.
Since Tottenham 2026.
I think collapse of I think collapse of a football club is a bit. I
No,
think
but
that's
like
harsh.
the biggest choke job of all time.
Oh God, no. I've seen much worse.
I've seen Tottenham be in a title race and finish third.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Tottenham might be the
Don't-
only team I've ever seen that have come third in a 2-horse title race.
It's,
No,
I mean, especially
no,
getting
but
battered by a relegated side 5-1 on the last game of the season.
to be winning and being in pole position in the league for pretty much the entire year, and then to throw it in the last couple of games when the end is in sight.
To be fair,
That
we
surely
played
is the worst.
Arsenal in the last game of the season, so maybe we can do you a favour, George.
Honestly,
Hope so.
I would absolutely.
I
at
really
this
hope
rate,
so.
I'd sell my soul for an Arsenal bottle. It's really good getting to that point. It's
Like-
Kind of just giving up
like
with your
Tot-
season and just hoping Arsenal bottle.
honestly,
like,
if I'd send us
if
down just for
Tottenham-
just for them to
if
bottle it.
Tottenham go
We're
down,
so
Arsenal
bad.
have got to go down with them.
Honestly, it's my club's so far muddied. I'm just using all my energy to prey on Arsenal's downfall. I mean, like we get relegated, we end up getting going into administration. All the money we save, we put that on Arsenal's downfall. Please, just use our club's
put an
failure.
acre on Arsenal's downfall.
Honestly, not even that. Just pay some kind of witch to put a spell on them. I don't care. Just
The
I
internet would never forget it.
just my club's so far gone. All I can do is just hate everybody else, and it starts
tell
at
you
the top.
The Chelsea fan was literally like, I saw a video probably, I don't think it was even a week ago. Like, his head was so far gone about how inconsistent Chelsea were that he said for the rest of the season he's just a Man City fan because he can't bear Arsenal winning the league. Like that's how bad it's gotten.
It's just that bad.
We're
It's
so
like
inconsistent.
I was having a conversation with my dad. He's an Arsenal fan. About just obviously it's great to be an Arsenal fan right now,
Yeah.
but for the sake of the Premier League, like the team at top of the league sets the standard for the rest of the league. Like if Arsenal can get success out of what they're doing, more teams will follow.
Yeah.
And like for example, the Chelsea Arsenal game. I
Yeah.
don't actually remember a shot until like the 90 plus 5th minute, like an actual shot, a decent chance from open play in that game.
Yeah.
Like it was all just lumping it, praying for a corner, and seeing what you can do with it, or going down outside the box and praying that you can do something with the free kick. Like,
They play the most disgusting brand of football.
but the problem is that other teams are now following it. because
That's
you-
why is it's not just them anymore, and I think that's what
Yeah.
upsets me more than anything. Was if they were doing that right, and teams can have their own identity, whether or not I agree with it is something else. But I dislike how they have made it so successful, and that the refs continue to allow that to be the style of play. That is now just how most teams are playing in the league, because it's
Like,
what you
that's the
have
thing,
to
they're
do
not
to be
doing-
successful.
Formulaic.
They're not doing anything wrong. They're not. They're just playing what needs to be done. But it's just not entertaining. Like that Brighton Arsenal game, even my dad turned around and went, "That was boring." They time wasted. They had the ball outplayed for 30 minutes. Like
30
you
minutes.
can't. Yeah, you can't
And
expect people to enjoy watching the
that
Premier
isn't
League
even the
if
most
this is how
amount
the
of
state
time
it
that
is
they've
the next
ever
5
spent
years.
out either. Like they've spent more minutes with the dead ball. And I think the stat itself is slightly misleading as well, because some of it is assorted things basically. But the point is that it's ridiculous how much time they waste, and just how formulaic it's become. It's run down, you get touched, go to the ground so that we can get our set piece, we can set up for our set piece. And
Yeah.
it comes back to like the refs are being so inconsistent with the way that fouls work. But they are consistently giving just anything, right? Almost any time a player goes down, there's a foul, unless it's very obviously not. And it's just leaning into this sort of Arsenal set piece style of play. You could just make a really strong handed tackle, even if it's fair. But if the player goes down with enough awe factor, the refs will give it. And that to me is part of the problem. That and VAR, when it comes to reffing, are slowly killing the sport.
Yeah.
Mm.
That is.
And
Go on, you go.
I'll say one thing that I don't like about Arsenal, like obviously with them being top of the league, is that whoever's top of the league it should be like it's almost like the main sort of like selling point for the Premier League. Like people want to watch the Premier League because of how good the football is and how good like certain teams are. But if you're watching a team like Arsenal who are top of the league at the moment and are playing that sort of brand of football, where the ball's out of play for a third of the game, like people are just going to get bored and they're just not going to watch the league anymore because of how distasteful the brand of football is, and it's just going to, and it might as well just, and it's probably going to damage the reputation of the league. But not that Mikel Arteta will care or any of the Arsenal fans, because you know they're probably going to win the league now, and it's just
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's you don't care if you're involved with Arsenal.
Yeah.
I'm sure if it was anybody else that you wouldn't care because it's your team that's being successful.
yeah.
But if you look at it strictly as a neutral, if you want to like trying to get new people into football, and their first game is Arsenal Brighton, they're gonna sit there watch that and be like, "What like?
Absolutely not.
What are you like hyping football up about?"
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one of the biggest criticisms people have with like American football and why I don't watch it is because it spends so much time out. Personally, I've never
Yeah.
watched it, so I can't give massive opinions on it. But what I've heard is people say, it spends so much time out. It's just like so stop start. It's just not entertaining for some people.
It's so stop start, but I also think it's a different brand of sport, to be fair, and
Yeah.
it comes from a different reason. But I think part of the problem is that football is sort of known to be away from that, right? It is most
Yeah.
sports are to an extent stop start, right? You think of even things like tennis is fairly stop start, right? A lot of professional grade sports have a fair amount of stop starting in them, and that is what makes football such an exciting sport, is that you go 45 full minutes of straight gameplay, and then
It's relentless.
it is relentless, and it is all out. But when you watch an Arsenal game, it isn't. There is so much stop starting, and right, there's always going to be free kicks and stuff, and someone might go down with an injury, and that counts towards stoppage time, and you can never make it. It's never going to be 45 full minutes straight.
No, it's not going to be
But
flat out.
exactly. But when Arsenal are deliberately delaying it by such an extent, it becomes so boring.
I mean,
I'd also
you
like
have.
to say, like, we spoke about it on the training the other day, that there was a stat that was released from the Arsenal game, like the ball was out of play for half an hour.
We mentioned this about
Okay.
10 minutes ago, Ben.
No, you did. Did you? Did you?
We did,
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, I think you're lagging a bit there, Ben.
Yeah, the internet speed here is crazy.
No,
As soon as he started talking, I already knew.
I
what
knew
he was gonna
exactly
say.
he was going to
Yeah.
mention that.
Yeah, that
Um,
was like how
what
we
was it?
started this conversation, Ben.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about this. But
My internet's going crazy.
when you think about like sports that are stop start, there's always a moment, and like you kind of forgive the stop startness of it because there is always a moment that kind of draws you back in. But with Arsenal and their style of play, I can't think this season of like one moment Arsenal have had where I was like, wow.
When Martinelli dribbles it, when Martinelli looks like he's about to go take on a player, swivels and plays it back to Declan Rice,
That's what I mean. Like
and just epitomises Arsenal.
maybe the only one I can think of is Zubimendi's goal against Forest was a really nice
That's
goal.
a good goal.
Other,
Yeah.
yeah. Other than that, I can't actually think of a moment for Arsenal this season where I've sat there and been like, wow. And that's why it's not interesting because they're playing such stop-start football, and their biggest moments in games come from set pieces.
Yeah.
It's not like individual moments, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
To be fair, the hat trick against you was pretty cold from Jose.
Like to be fair, for me, that was just painful to watch. Honestly, I if I was in Jose's shoes, I could have scored that trick. We were just watching him dance around us. I wasn't even dancing. To be fair, he was walking. I remember
We
two of his
said this
goals.
the other day against Gessan. Gessan just like drolled.
Yeah, we've also
like,
spoken about this.
Like it was going through the park.
Yeah, no,
I did mention
yeah,
I
we
was just using it again as an example.
I know.
that. Okay.
Just for the ease.
Yeah, like honestly, scoring against Tottenham is nothing special anymore.
Dr.
Well,
Tottenham.
it never has been. Like you can't use scoring against Tottenham as a point for you because we're so easy to score against. But yeah, just with Arsenal, it's one where obviously they're going to win the league, and fair play to them. They probably have been the best team in the league this season, so it's not like it's
Yeah.
undeserved.
They've
But
been the
it's
most
just-
consistent team in the league.
They have, and it's just the way they've gone about it is a bit disappointing. In the fact that more teams will now follow, as we saw, like I said, as we saw with Chelsea, more
Which
teams are
means
now going to
more
follow,
pressing football.
and like I'm glad we're going down to the Championship because we may see some more entertaining football.
Say
It's-
hello to Millwall.
Honestly, I mean, no,
Say
Millwall
hello
probably
to
going to go the
Millwall.
other way, the way their season's going.
I don't know where your next win comes from, Lewis.
Genuinely, I don't. Maybe Forest.
'Cause
Forest is
you've
our only
got-
chance.
You've got
Early-
Atletico, Liverpool, Atletico, Forest, Sunderland, Brighton.
Alejandro Garnacho and Chelsea going
Oh.
to the den would feed families. Honestly, it'd be the greatest. It'd be the greatest thing to watch.
To be honest, I think
Like-
players like Garnacho would just get abuse because
Yeah,
of how unbearable he is.
And he
Oh,
warrants it, I think, because
Yeah.
he's a complete knobhead.
What do you mean he scored the other day, didn't he?
You did, yeah.
Well, no,
Yeah.
Or got an
that's-
assist or something?
He got an assist. He got it was
Oh,
a, it
yeah.
was a, it was. an
I swear he
open, sweaty-
finished one as well.
he scored against Wrexham, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Ashton
yeah.
scored. João Pedro scored.
It was an own goal, I think, from goalkeeper.
Garnacho got one, and then there's the one that ended up counting as an own goal against Wrexham. And then it was Antipong and Pedro.
Oh, Kwonko own goal. Yeah,
Achapong,
Okonkwo,
the Achapong goal was
Akpong,
really good.
Garnacho, and
It
João
was.
Pedro.
It was very good.
Achapong's goal was very good.
Yeah, it was alright after they scored, wasn't it?
It was. It was literally within I think it was like 90 seconds.
Yeah, I do like him to be fair, Chimpong. I think he'd be
Yeah.
really good.
I think he'd be a very, very versatile piece of Chelsea going forward. I think we've got to do our
I
utmost.
genuinely thought you were going to say he needs to be in the England squad. I just had that feeling.
Again, I said some outrageous things, but I'm not going to go that crazy.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because
I know what you're like. You just love to say outrageous things and double down.
I'd get server muted. I think after I said that.
I forgot I
You
could
get
do
from
that.
this
I
guy,
fully could.
Get it ready.
I haven't warranted said comments, so
Yeah, and he's only 19, so there's a ton of time for him to grow into something phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, before I get too depressed, talk about Tottenham. Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Can you apologise, Lewis?
I stand by what I said. He weren't even that great against us.
Well, I mean, he was pretty good. He should have had a hat trick.
Yeah, but
It was Myla Sarr.
it's my
He wasn't
Lazar.
that good.
He
He was
weren't
good, but he wasn't
great.
that good.
Yeah, he was decent. I've seen
Adam
him play
Morton was your
better.
best player. Adam Morton was
Yeah.
your best player.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
even like
yeah.
I didn't get to say like Adam Warren. I'm pretty sure for Ismail Sarr's goal, it's overhit, and he still Ismail Sarr still manages to get on the end of it, like with
Yeah, because
how
Vicario's pony.
poor our defense is.
Well, first of all, the defensive line was just a shambles, and B, Vicario just had a howler. Like he should have come and he should have come to claim the ball so much earlier than he did.
Yeah,
And
it's an overhit pass that Ismail Sarr it's not even like going, oh, Ismail Sarr's amazing, you should never have got to it, but from a defensive point of view, we should not be allowing Ismail Sarr to get to get to that. It's
Yeah.
and then the other goal was a pen. I genuinely don't think Ismail
Fair-
Sarr.
To be fair, he won the pen, so you can't take that away from him.
Yeah, but again, it was gifted to him. Like there was no need for Van der Ven to grab hold of him.
And he should have had another goal as well.
Yeah, that was probably his best goal of the night. That first one.
Yeah.
I've got to
The
give
one
him
that
the
got
credit.
disallowed.
I've got to give him the credit because he is a willing runner and he really
Yeah,
does try to fight for the ball. So
Yeah.
I have got to give him his credit.
It's
credit is
it's one with Ismail Sarr's performance. I don't take back what I said because I think he's underrated by most fans, but I do think by Palace fans he's kind of a little bit not massively overrated, but a little bit.
How high do you think I rate him?
Very high. I know you rate
But,
him
like,
very high.
But like, you don't know how high I rate him. That's like,
It's mainly James, to be fair, that I disagree with.
What does
James
James say?
seems to talk about him as if he's like top 5 wingers in the league.
he is.
That's what I mean.
Right, okay.
No. He's not top
He's-
5 wingers in the league, but he's like, in my opinion, I think he's fighting for best winger out of top 6.
I think that's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I think that is.
I think even that's a bit of a stretch.
I don't think it is. He's just
Because
so
realistically, you look at all the sort of really good wingers outside the top 6. Like I could name at least 3 off the top of my head that are better than Ismail Sarr. Like,
Cool.
out of the current top 6, I could name 3. So Iliman and Jai.
I think he's near that level. Or
No,
like,
Oh,
Jai is
wow.
amazing. No, I think
Really?
this guy's above him.
At the
Sarr
current
goes
top 7,
missing a lot.
he's
out of the current top 7, I'd have Iliman and Jai. I'd have Anthony Gordon, purely because of like how well he's been doing in the Champions League, and he's also scored a couple of goals in the league nowadays.
yeah.
And to be honest,
Jared
well,
Bowen?
no, I'm just trying to think of another one because I'm really trying to stick
Harry
by
Wilson.
3. Yeah, Harry Wilson actually. I will say Harry Wilson.
No, not Harry. Sarr's better than Wilson.
No, he's
Right.
not.
Right.
I think they're
think he is.
slightly different players, but in the
Maybe
roles that
you
they
might
play,
have to use that server
Harry
mute.
Wilson's doing. Yeah, I think Harry Wilson's better overall than Ismail Assar.
No,
Yeah.
I think Sar's better personally.
I personally think the Palace bias is coming in a little bit too strong here, because I think Harry
Maybe.
Wilson, especially in the past few months, has
I
been
think he's had,
arguably one of the best
yeah,
leaders in the league.
I think he's had a good few months, but I think Sar's been better over the 2 years
No, if
Yeah,
you're
but
talking like
to be
since
fair,
he's come into Palace.
I don't know. I'd take Harry Wilson. I'd also
I'd take
take
Harry
Karen
Wilson.
Matoma.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd take
Nah.
Tate.
At the moment, I'd take Ismail Assar.
Yeah,
At the moment,
but
I'd take Sarah over Matoma purely because of how inconsistent he's been.
I'd take Minte as
Matoma is
well.
so inconsistent. I was only
He
rage
is.
baiting, to be fair. I knew Cody would give me a little nibble if I mentioned Karen Matoma.
The fact that you called it a little nibble as well, like, as you know, that is what lots of people do to his ankles when he plays because he's got a degree in dribbling.
What?
Yeah. Whatever you just said.
Emmett, who'd you rather have? Ismail Assar or Brendan Aronson?
Is this even
You're
a
asking,
debate?
you're asking an American who he'd rather have in his team, another American or Ismail Assar.
I need to get results.
For what? For Chelsea?
Excuse me?
No, just
like
general.
your own team in general. Just in general, like who would you sign between the two of them?
Oh, that's tough, actually.
I think they're different players.
I think if I could, I would have both of them, and play Aronson not as a winger,
Yeah.
and play him centrally.
Obviously, Ismail Assar is pretty good on the right hand side, but I think Brendan Aronson, especially this season, I feel like his best position's been as a box to box.
Yeah,
Because-
it's because he's such a workhorse.
Yeah.
Even if he's on the wing, his biggest strength is his ability to collapse defensively and then expand the field and just win the ball back. But I think
Yeah.
in order to fully unlock his potential, you have to play him centrally in like a box to box level of a role, because that way he's winning balls back, he's fighting for everything. Whereas if you put him on a wing, he's a bit more limited. I think the issue is most teams are going to have someone who's better centrally than Aronson, just technically on the ball. If Aronson does have a bit to be desired sometimes with his technical skill, and I think you have to, but not you have to, but so I think unfortunately for Aronson, he does sort of get bumped out wide. And I still think he's great there, but I think his best position is going to be as like a number 10 and like a box to box.
Yeah.
Running,
Yeah.
has legs for days, is running all over the shop.
Yeah, fully.
Cody, you got anything to say?
Not really. I don't know.
I think we're
Right.
about ready to wrap up then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, in other words, I feel like, Arsenal are going to win the league. They play a boring brand of football. Tottenham are really, really funny to watch. Iliman Ndiaye is a better winger than Ismail Assar, and I think that's pretty much
Not
it.
true.
It is true.
To be fair, I
Stop
think they're the same
yapping.
level. Nah, bro.
They're not the same level, man. Look at Iliman Ndiaye. Like, if you watch Iliman Ndiaye play against some of the bigger teams, he would literally be tearing your favourite fullback inside out every single.
I'm pretty
week.
sure
Why?
Ndiaye
Why?
starts for Senegal over.
He does.
Sar's
Over
good
Sar.
against the big team.
Is he?
Yeah.
If you say because he scores against Tottenham, just ruined your argument.
No, Sar's a big game player. He always scores against Liverpool. That's his thing.
Yeah, but who else did he score against?
Tottenham.
Well, he scored against Villa in the semi-final.
That was last season.
Yeah, but I'm just talking over. He's been injured this season. And
That's
he's
not
had,
my. Listen, that's
Aston.
not my problem. That's not my
he's played
problem.
less games than Munoz and Mateo. And even this season, he's still been cooking.
Yeah, but Iliman Ndiaye.
In a very bad Crystal Palace team.
Cody, he's played 19 games this season. still a decent
Yeah.
amount to start in the Premier League, considering what we're 28 games in, 29 games in.
Yeah, but
He's missed 10
been,
games.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure.
10 games.
What?
That's still a big chunk of the season.
Yeah, but Iliman Jai missed games as well.
I'm not talking about Enjoy. I'm talking about Sar. I never mentioned it, Enjoy.
On
You
that
said-
note,
you said
guys,
he's
I
on
think
the
we're
Giants
gonna wrap
level.
up this week's podcast.
No, but I
hope
know,
you
but
enjoyed
I'm
listening.
talking because we're talking about Sar now. We're not talking about Enjoy now.
Right. No,
And
no.
on that note, I think we're going to end this week's podcast.
Yeah.
Next week, we're going to do our reviews on the teams that we drew in the previous
Yes.
episode.
Sorry, we're all very busy. Very, very busy.
Yeah, we've had a very busy week. Plus, to be fair, I got Bournemouth and they just drew 0-0.
And also, I think we'll call it there then, yeah?
Yeah, please.
Please do.
This has been Ben, George, Cody, and Lewis, with a production team of Emmett, Sarah, and Millie. Going into 2026, we have a new recording and posting schedule. You will now be able to find our podcast live on YouTube and Spotify from 12 p.m. noon every Wednesday. Follow our Instagram @Tactical Waffle Podcast for live updates and news.